Mark Baldwin. We have started.
Reifers.
People will join momentarily. As always, let's double check that the tweet actually went out.
Always double
Um,
check.
you always got to double check.
You never
And
know.
yes, yeah, the answer is here. It is.
We're on
It is
hotel
here.
Wi-Fi. We are
Yeah, we're in
in
a hotel.
Peoria, Illinois.
So Mark is one floor above me, and let's go.
I'm,
Let's take a look at my. Hold on. I'm in a. I'm in a handicap accessible room, and it's the widest, most luxurious sleep-in ever. And Mark is actually in the same type of room above me, exactly above me.
Look
So,
at that hallway. You
man,
could lay down in that hallway.
that hallway is the thing.
You could lay
Okay,
down both ways, horizontally, vertically.
I think we should start with the Hayden Springer situation. Mark, does that seem like a good place to start?
Lead us off. Tell us what happened today.
Okay. One of the crazier stories, George Ball from the Detroit News was on site and tweeted that Hayden Springer was disqualified from the playoff, which is not exactly true. I reached out to Hayden's wife, Emma. For those listening that don't know, wrote a story about Emma. We've done some shows. When I was a fire pit. Their daughter has trisomy 18. Wonderful family. Hayden's great. Emma's wonderful. They're great family. I didn't want to reach out to Hayden directly. Obviously, a tough situation. So here is what happened. It says, "Hey, Ryan." He went back to his car when he was done playing. Hayden played in the morning and had a long wait for scores. Happens a lot. And you go, if you think you're going to be in a playoff, the hole might require a club that you didn't carry or something like that. I would guess that is the scenario. Emma didn't give me that side of it, but there would be no reason really to go back and get a 3-iron unless you thought it would be pertinent to the first or second hole that you were going to play. So went back to his car when he was done playing, put his 3-iron in his bag, warmed up, said he thought he would remove it. But when he started playing, he covered up his clubs because it started raining. It didn't occur to him until 20 yards off of the tee. He immediately called him on himself. Let's stop there because there's another part of the story. Mark, you're a player. I mean, is there what is? Can you put yourself in Hayden's shoes?
I mean, after he's teed off, and then you realize that there's an extra club in your bag, it must be the most sickening feeling that you can experience on a golf course. Just hearing that, as somebody who has been in playoffs to get into a PGA Tour event, and you know everything has to go right for you to get through a playoff. You never want to be the guy who has the debacle that allows everyone else to get in. So just hearing that, kind of knowing what the experience is like, is sickening enough. I can't imagine what it feels like to be Hayden Springer in that moment, because the guy has been through so much.
Yeah. He struggled this year. Smartly, he's gone to PGA Tour Mondays. I tell people all the time he should. He does the right thing, plays well. And I mean, honestly, for all that family has been through, I think a large portion of golfers would do it, but there's a portion of golfers, especially in the rain, especially with their clubs covered up, that wouldn't call it on themselves. I mean, it's there is no. I mean, I can't imagine. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either. I hope he hit the 3-iron off the tee.
Agree. Another part of a crazy part of the story also is he immediately called on himself, and the first rules official told him the playoff was over, and they picked up their balls. Like, how does a rules official not know it's a 2-stroke penalty? Like, I mean, maybe he thought because it was a playoff, there was like maybe he thought it was match play or something. I don't like what. How was that possible?
Yeah, his brain must have gone to match play and just assumed it was a loss of hole. But
So uh, then he came back and said it's a two-stroke penalty, and so Hayden went and replaced his ball, and they finished the hole. And he actually had a 15-footer that would have given him a chance to get through the first hole. The other one of the other players in the playoff had a chance to make bogey or had a putt to make par. So, craziest Monday Q story you've heard, Mark?
certainly one
Not
of the
craziest, but sad. I don't know. I don't even know what the word is.
yeah, certainly one of the most devastating. God, you feel for the guy. Somebody like that. I mean, you play so many Monday qualifiers, and you just only have so many scores of 7 under, 8 under, 6 under in you at the right time. So finally, for that to happen, and it's such a careless mistake, but you can see how easily it could happen, and it's just really unlucky too. It's a really a minor oversight that is so deeply costly.
Yeah, for those that are listening, like Mark's been through it. I've watched enough. The last few groups come in. It depends. I don't know that golf course. I do know it a little bit, but I don't know where scoring was set up. It can get very hectic if you can't see scoring and know that that's the last group in. It can all of a sudden be like, you have an idea, obviously, but it's all of a sudden like, okay, we're starting the playoff. In 5 minutes, you're gonna scramble and like head to the first tee. Like at the Barracuda when Mark and I were in the playoff, the tee, the range, the first tee where the playoff was going to happen, the range and scoring were all like very much right there. We could see the last group we know, but there are times where you're on the range, scoring's a little far away, and then all of a sudden an official comes up to you and says, hey, we're ready for the first tee, and you just kind of like blank for a minute, I suppose. I assume that's what happened to Hayden, and you just walk to the first tee, and that's it.
Yeah, there's always a rush to get into the playoff to get it started in case it goes 5 holes or 6 holes, and nobody wants it to run into Tuesday morning. One year in Las Vegas, I was in a playoff that went to 3 holes into Tuesday morning before I got through, and then it went an extra 2 holes after that. So nobody wants that scenario. So the rules officials, they really try to expedite it, and in that, it is easy with the change of weather to see how Hayden had made that oversight.
Okay, we said it last week. I mean, obviously, we feel terrible for Hayden. Hayden's story and family is amazing, and we feel terrible for him. Quickly, about what we're going to do on Mondays. Monday Q Review will be live. You can watch it anytime. We're going to take clips from it. Don't have a guest this week. We'll have a guest a lot of weeks. But Perun, as you can see in the bottom, the live stream is powered by Perun, has come on board. They are a parent company of Yard Force, helped us out. John has been amazing. Power by Perun is it's a portable power system. I'm actually getting one, so I'll be able to show all of you what we do. We'll have an ad about it. It's like basically a mini generator. It's a battery that you charge. You can run a refrigerator off it. You can recharge your phone 200 times. You can. It's just so many ways to use it, and we'll demonstrate it better in the upcoming weeks. John, Yard Force, Perun have been amazing to us, and we appreciate them being a big part of what the Monday Q Review will be going forward.
It is a very cool looking product that's going to have a lot of application. Perun powers your life. We're going to be in parking lots of Monday qualifiers where people, caddies, players are sleeping. We're going to have these batteries where you can plug your computer into it, your phone, whatever you need, where you need a power source. The another facet they have, you can plug jumper cables into them. It is it's the utility of it is amazing, and it's going to really help, I think, a lot of professional golfers, but also event creators, planners, producers.
Thank you to them for helping us out. Powered by Perun.com. Okay. Another side of the let's quickly wrap up the Rocket Mortgage. Kyle Reifers. Kyle, as we said last week, there's not many Mondays that you go that Kyle's not climbing out of a car. Kyle's pretty tall. You know him. You know he looks a lot different, a lot taller than other golfers. So Kyle's always at Monday. The dude had a 12-footer for par at the Travelers Monday playoff to keep it going. He makes it, fist pump. Next hole, wins the playoff, gets into the Travelers, makes the cut, plays solid, finishes T39, makes $83,000. That night, flies to Detroit. Today, shoots another 8 under and gets through again. Dude is on a full-blown heater.
Incredible. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that gives you second life in the professional game. All of a sudden, people thought you were at the tail end of your career, you're hanging on by a thread, and then you have 2 weeks like this potentially, and it can catapult you back into, being relevant and also playing the best golf of your life. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's again, it's so the edge is just so like razor thin. Brett Stagmeyer did the same thing, made the cut. I think he finished last or near the bottom, but still great payday. Flies to Detroit, Monday qualifies. I mean, that is impressive. Andy Spencer, his first PGA Tour event. Peter's played well at Monday, so from BYU. So those are the 4 that got through. Good event that, after a major and then an elevated event, the field is very weak. And I'm sure all of those guys are licking their chops thinking like, this is an open week for me to go make some noise. Especially, obviously, Kyle's on a heater. So would not be surprised to see him play well.
Yeah, to get 2. Do you remember, Rye, the last time that 2 players made it through 2 consecutive weeks being the same event in the same event?
I'm not sure. I don't know if it's. I don't remember it happening. Not after making the cut. I remember 2 players like on the back-to-back weeks, but after both making the cut, I don't remember it. If it's happened, it's super rare. Rare.
They're tag teaming these tournaments.
Yeah. So as we are talking about depressing sides of Monday, and we move to the Corn Ferry Monday, we'll go to another depressing stat on Mondays. So thanks to the Until, there's a Twitter account called Until, and they track Keenan Husky, who we're going to talk about. So those guys sent me a spreadsheet of Keenan's Monday qualifiers. So here we go. The Chile Classic shot 67, missed by 1. Corrales, Punta Cana, PGA Tour, 67, missed by 1. Lecom, 67, missed by 1. Hometown Lenders qualifier, 65, lost in a playoff. Knoxville Open, 67, missed by 2. Monday qualifier, UNC Health Championship, 66, missed by 1. Today, Memorial Health, 69, is blowing $1 million. Gets in a playoff, misses. Mark, as a player, it's got to be immensely frustrating to play great golf and not get into any events.
Yeah, for sure. And to be that close on the razor thin edge of having a start every week, it raises a lot of questions. You start to wonder, how am I allocating my resources? What if I put these scores together in a proper tournament? I would have money in the bank. I would probably have turned a profit, not have lost let's say, not have spent 12 grand on those few starts or a few Mondays that you missed by 1 and 2 there. That's tough, and it happens frequently where players go through an entire season of Mondays and they just put up great score after great score, 4 under, 5 under, 6 under, 3 under, and their cumulative total is so far under par, and they never get a single opportunity.
Yeah. Jared Detroit said it. He's like, he played a bunch of Mondays leading up to the Canadian Tour, and not close to what Keenan has done, but had played solidly and not gotten through anything. And I sent him a message like, hey, what's the plan the rest of the year? I'm forgetting that he had Canadian status. He's like, thank God I'm going to play Canada. I can't do this Monday thing anymore. It was like Jared doesn't have any status. So it was like, get through pre-Q, shoot 69, miss by 3. Get through pre-Q, shoot 68, miss by 4. It's just like, I mean, when we were shooting the grind and we went through like those 4 or 5 and you weren't playing well, it's like so quickly the walls just close in on you, right? I mean,
yeah, it's a difficult place to be mentally because you're playing really well and you want to stay the course because you're like, I just need one more putt to fall on any of these weeks and I've got a real chance. And I put up the score, so if I just apply that game into a real tournament situation, I could potentially change the course of my season. But those near misses start to weigh on you. And so you start to consider alternatives. And at some point, you just need to go play a real 4-round event because especially the closer you get to the end of the season, because you're ultimately trying to play your best golf for Q School.
I assume, Mark, when you're playing in a run like that and you're not getting through any Mondays, but you're playing great, the biggest obstacle at the next Monday, let's say for Keenan, is mental, right? It's just like I would assume you kind of tee it up on Monday and it's hard to not be defeated already.
I don't think it depends who the player is, but I think for a lot of players it's motivating. It's kind of a kick in the ass, and they play a little more freely.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the majority of players play more freely when they miss by 1 the following week, or if they miss by a couple the next, on a stretch, they start playing more freely. And then you can see kind of the grade in their scores, and that's usually when the near misses start to weigh on them and they're in a different scoring cycle. So, yeah, I think the next week, if someone misses by 1 or, they barely, let's say, miss winning in a mini tour event, I'm going to bet on them to play really well the next week. You don't know if they're going to win. You don't know if they're going to get through. But I'd almost always bet on them to play well the following event.
Let's go through this quickly. Ryan Hall, dude is super talented. Would not be I'm doing a list of the top 10 players without status. Ryan will definitely be on there. Taylor Bibbs shot 64 today at Ann Breyer Golf Club near St. Louis with a 7. He doubled the last hole on a par 5 to shoot 64. Trevor Olstead got through, and Luke Guthrie. Mark, you can talk about Luke a lot. I mean, to be on the grind as a multi-time Korn Ferry Tour winner, to grind on the Korn Ferry Mondays is just, it takes some balls, basically. I mean, not balls, but it's just like you got to really swallow your pride. And good for Luke, he's out at almost every Monday. Yeah,
he's just a really solid guy, someone who's easy to root for. He's obviously, keeping his ego in check is not an issue at this point in his career. He's just trying to get back to where he was, and PGA Tour player, one of those guys who had a ton of upside, and this is just the cycle of the game, and it could happen really to anyone. And just as easily, he could play great this week and find his way back into the winner's circle and then change everything. But always pulling for that guy.
I heard it was blowing. TK, a caddy on the Korn Ferry tour, said it was blowing like 30 at one one of these places, and obviously the score showed it's very rare that 2 under gets into a playoff, but it did today. At Gateway National, William Nottingham and Nicholas Fonte shot 3 under. Connor Daly and Zach Williams got through in a 4-for-2 playoff. Danny Guys has been playing some good golf in Mondays. Lost in a playoff today. Mark, we're going to cover the APT event that we're at in a different video, but let's just give a quick snapshot. Is this the best mini tour event? It's Monday. We've only been here one day. It's the best mini tour event you've ever played in.
I'm going to say right now, we've been here one day. It's the best mini tour event I've ever played in. We just played the Pro-Am today, and it felt like a Korn Ferry Finals event.
Yeah.
The banquet food was delicious and gourmet, plentiful. There was celebrities who you could actually identify. I played with the 15th ranked light heavyweight UFC fighter.
Sean Livingston was here, an NBA player.
You were there. You were a celebrity.
I was
so
on the celebrity list. They reached at the end. Obviously, they got to the end and like, well,
you teed off a number 2, which they clearly think that you are an important celebrity, and in the golf world, they're not wrong.
The biggest thing, and again, we're going to do a separate video on this because it really is. It's one day, but the biggest thing, and this is what I fight all the time. It's what mini tours fight right now. The membership. I played with some members. Mark played with people from Peoria. Just the feeling overall. There was tons of people. There was a junior clinic that was packed. The membership, the people of Peoria, are ecstatic to have this event.
Ecstatic, yes.
The members that I played with were like, yes, we love everything. They were so in on this. And I was like, is there been any pushback? Nope. The director of golf, ecstatic. We're going to get off here, and we're going to a drone show. There's going to be 1,000 drones in the air in a little bit, and we're going. And then there's Mitch for country fans. Mitchell Tenpenny is playing just for us and the members, just for the players and the caddies and the volunteers and the members of the club. Mitchell Tenpenny, who has like top 10 songs on country radio, is playing tomorrow on the 10th fairway. They're building a stage and taking it down in 12 hours. What? I had a credential today. There was 4 volunteers for player parking. This is way better than the Korn Ferry events I've been to.
So it's amazing. If all mini tour events were like this, you would have very little to tweet about.
So I will tell
people
this story.
Would welcome the mini tour life.
Yeah, a person who knows who I am came up to me, and he's playing at Chicago State, and he's like, "Man, this is the life." And I was like, "This isn't the life, dude. This is not the life. This is not how this goes." I was just like, "This isn't how it goes."
Yeah. I played with Dustin Jacoby today, the UFC fighter. He says that out of all the UFC fighters, he's the best golfer. And he is quite good, very athletic, hits the shit out of it, and really wants to get better. He's 35 now. He hopes that there's a lot of golf in his future. But he really was under the impression this was a fairly important event. It really has that feel. He's like, so do you get your tour status if you win here or what?
Yeah.
Like, not exactly. But it does have that feel.
It's ridiculous. Now we got to sign off because we got
Hold on, before we go sign off to go to the drone show, I would just like you to my face, because I've only seen it on social media, to give me the news about your new next caddying gig.
Oh, yes. Christina Kim. I mean, I am not more excited about this than obviously just like personally and selfishly to say that I caddied on the LPGA Tour. Super cool. I'm gonna caddy on the top 2 tours in the world, men's and women's. That's insane. Christina is like wonderful. She's been great to me. She's super nice. And 3, content. She's wonderful, super outspoken, one of the few women on tour that is just like no holes barred. She's going to tell you what she thinks. Like, I talked to her today. I'm like, I want you to write an article about what kind of caddy I am. And it's not going to be a fluff piece. I guarantee you. It's going to be like on 15, I don't know what the fuck Ryan was doing. Like, it's going to be just like right in the guts. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. It's going to be awesome.
the best content. I can't wait.
I can't wait.
It's impossible to even imagine what you two are going to get into.
I talked to the tour today. I didn't even tell Mark this. I sent a message to the LPGA, and I was just like, hey, this is going to be great. And they're like, within reason. They didn't say no rules, but they're like, we can't wait to have you. And that is exciting because I have a lot of ideas. Mark and I have a lot of ideas of how to do this, but you need the tour to be a part of it and be okay with it. And it sounds like they are. We're talking to them later, but it's just like to have the tour that you're on, a person who is super outspoken and great and funny but serious and honest and all of those things, and a tour, and the resources to go do kind of unedited content it's a banger, dude. It's a banger. Super excited about it.
I am too. It's a blank canvas for you, and you get to be Picasso.
Daniela Icabelli and Christina Kim in the next month. Yowza. Buckle up, everybody.
Strap in.
That's it. Let's go. Come on down. Go to the drone show. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to Perun. Powered by Perun. Go check it out. Michael Bamberger is super excited about it. We're sending Michael a battery. It's an amazing, it really is a very cool thing. And run your damn refrigerator for 24 hours. If the power goes out. So
it'll be the central location for any tailgate.
Yeah.
Tailgate, perfect for football season.
So many things. Powered by Perun, thank you. We're excited about what's ahead for the Monday Q review. We will have a Monday Q. We'll have another review about this mini tour event once it's over. I'm super excited. Thanks, Mark. Let's go to the drone show.
Go to the drone show. Here we go.